Hello, everyone. Welcome to Barca News. It is January 21st, 2025, and Barcelona scouts were present today at the Wanda Metropolitana in the match between Atletico Madrid and Bayer Leverkusen in order to watch two players. And I'm going to tell you who they are. Also, Barcelona have received not one, but two offers for Eric Garcia. I'm going to tell you which clubs they're from and how much they are for. And finally, Barcelona have added the name Dusan Vlahovic to their list of possible signings for the striker position. We have a lot to discuss, so let's begin. Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Mo and we'll begin this video with the news that Barcelona scouts were present today in Madrid at the Wanda Metropolitana in the match between Atletico de Madrid and Bayer Leverkusen in order to watch two players up close. The first one being Jonathan Tah, the center back who will be a free agent, who will become a free agent during this summer transfer market. Someone who's interested in coming to Barcelona and someone who Barcelona are very interested in signing. However, of course, with Ronald Araujo deciding to stay, this has complicated things. We don't know if Jonathan Tah is still gonna want to come to Barcelona with Ronald Araujo now wanting to stay. But nonetheless, Barcelona are not taking their eye off the Bayer Leverkusen center back, sending scouts today to Madrid in order to watch the German up close. Now, the second player that Barcelona were watching in today's Champions League clash was, of course, Wirtz, the dream signing of Barcelona, one of the most talented attacking midfielders in Europe right now, someone who I would love to see in Barcelona, but of course, this is more of a dream than a reality. I think Bayer Leverkusen are going to want probably around 120, 130 million euros for Wirtz, who even though has always declared himself as a culé, someone who has always wanted to come to Barcelona, unfortunately, that price tag is just simply way too high for Barcelona. So this will remain a dream for the club, but nonetheless, Barcelona deciding not to take their eye off the youngster and, send in scouts in order to watch him up close in that Champions League clash where I think Atletico Madrid won 2-1. I think they started losing and then they mounted a comeback. Of course, not as epic as Barcelona's comeback, but nonetheless, they did mount their own comeback. And by the way, if you haven't seen the post-match live analysis, make sure you check it out where I analyze that epic comeback that Barcelona mounted against Benfica. Now on to the next bit of news because, ladies and gentlemen, Barcelona have received not one but two offers for Eric Garcia, one of the heroes of tonight's match. Of course, Eric Garcia scored Barcelona's fourth goal, an incredible header by the Barcelona defender, who seems to be on his way out. And of course, we already knew about Girona's interest. Girona have been very interested in Eric Garcia ever since he spent last season there on loan. They tried to sign him this past summer, but Flick said no because he wanted to try him out. And now they're trying to sign him during this winter transfer market. But so far, it doesn't look like it's going to happen. Why? Not because of lack of interest of Girona or Barcelona or Eric Garcia, but because the initial offer has been incredibly low. Now, it seems that Girona have offered 5 million euros for Eric Garcia, which of course is non-negotiable for the club because Barcelona want at least 10 to 15 million euros for the player, and that's way below asking price. But nonetheless, Barcelona are still negotiating with Girona to see whether they will up their offer. Now, the second offer that Barcelona have received, it's no other than Como. Cesc Fabregas is Como. As you might recall, a few days ago, I made a video about a report coming out of Italy stating that Como were interested in both Ansu Fati and Eric Garcia. Cesc Fabregas immediately came out denying that report, saying that Como are not interested in Ansu Fati. However, he never said anything about Eric Garcia, and well, now we know why, because it looks like Como are interested in signing Eric Garcia, and in fact, they have offered Barcelona 7 million euros. Now, this is still below the asking price, But nonetheless, the fact that there are two clubs interested in Eric Garcia, that of course is favorable for Barcelona, because that will only drive the price up and plus give the club more options to offload Eric Garcia, because after all, they need to offload someone in order to sign Marcus Rashford. So Barcelona will continue negotiating with both Girona and Como to see whether either of them match Barcelona's asking price. Now, the next bit of news is in regards to the newest name that Barcelona have added to the list of possible signings for the center forward position. Before we discuss that name, let me remind you to please don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment. If you are looking for any Barcelona jerseys or merchandise, make sure to Goal Kids, Kickback, or Fanatics. If you are looking to place any sports bets, make sure to bet us. All links are down below in the description. Now, let's get back to the news, because, ladies and gentlemen, Barcelona have added the name of Dusan Vlahovic to the list of possible strikers. Now, as you know, Barcelona are in the market looking for someone to sign in the place of Robert Lewandowski, who is not getting any younger. In fact, he's going to be 37 years old by the end of the season. They have, of course, contemplated different names like Erling Haaland, who has renewed for 9 years with Manchester City. There's Gyökeres, who's going to be impossible given his price. There's Jonathan David, who they considered for a while, but then decided that, he doesn't really fit the profile of what Barcelona are looking for. And of course, more recently, Barcelona added Sesko to the list, and well, now they have added Dusan Vlahovic, the 24-year-old Serbian attacker who currently plays at Juventus, and his contract is set to expire in the summer of 2026. Which means that when the summer comes, Vlahovic will enter his final year of the contract. And if he doesn't renew, Juventus will have to offload him. Otherwise, they risk him leaving for free. And of course, that's not something that Juventus will risk, because after all, they did pay 80 million euros for the Serbian. Now, the reason why Barcelona have added the name of Dusan Vlahovic to their list is because an agent who is a friend of both camps, of both the Barcelona camp and the Dusan Vlahovic camp, has offered the player for Barcelona. Now, Arsenal are very, very interested in him. So if the player does not end up renewing with Juventus or going to Arsenal, there's a really good chance that Barcelona could sign him, which of course begs the question, what do you guys think about Dusan Vlahovic? Do you like him? Do you not? Would you like to see him in Barcelona? Let me know down below in the comment section. Now, speaking of attackers, I do have an update for you about Ibrahim Diarra, and it's a good update. Now, as you know, Barcelona signed the 18-year-old Malayan gem. I think it was back in December, if I'm not mistaken. That's when he turned 18 years old. So far, he hadn't played any matches for two reasons. A, he was still finalizing all his paperwork. As you know, when you come from other continents, it's not the European continents, you have to process all kinds of bureaucratic documents, immigration documents, etc. That's why, for example, we didn't see Abdulaziz Isa or even David Oduro play for until I think it was 2 months into the season, because they were still finalizing all the paperwork. Well, the news is that Ibrahim Diarra has finally finalized all his paperwork, so he is good to go. But the other good news is that Barcelona have finally been able to register him. Now, what was stopping Barca Athletic from registering Ibrahim Diarra is that they needed to free up a slot. Otherwise, they needed to offload a player in order to allow Ibrahim Diarra to take his spot. And while Barcelona have finalized the transfer of Edu Sanchez to Merida, and with the departure of Edu Sanchez, a slot on the Barca Athletic team has opened up, which means that now Ibrahim Diarra can take the spot, of course, with the fact that he has also finalized all his paperwork to be able to play in Spain. So this is great news, because we're finally going to get to see Ibrahim Diarra showcase his skills. Anyways, that is all the news for this video. I did upload another video before this one. I also did the post-match live analysis. If you haven't seen either of those videos, make sure to check them out. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment, and as always, Visca Barça.